First thing in the morning, you check your phone and see a negative comment on a video or an artwork that's been getting more views than usual, and you just have to glance at it, you don't even have to read it fully, and it's still gonna ruin the rest of your day. This video isn't to show you or read out loud funny hate comments. This is more about how to deal with them when you're on the receiving end. And how I've been dealing with them all the years I've been posting art and art videos online, and what my current views and issues with dealing with them are. Maybe this will give you some practical tips, or maybe it makes you think about negative feedback in a different light. I feel like I've been letting negative comments affect me too much. Whether it's getting publicly provoked and replying something passive-aggressive, or getting privately provoked and letting it ruin my mood in the morning, ruining my plans, my productivity, or keeping me up at night. I'll divide negative comments into 3 categories. The first one is from complete strangers seeing one of your videos or artworks for the first time because it happened to perform better and spread outside of your usual audience. When the algorithm starts spreading the video outside of the target audience, comments get strange, and there will always be people who just want to be negative. There'll be the "you suck" comments that give no real criticism. So there's no need to listen to them, and they're the wrong audience anyway. Then there are the ones that might have a valid constructive criticism in them, but they're packaged in a way that's hateful or trying to provoke you. Trying to discredit the whole video, saying that there's a better way to do it, so it's useless. They're not considering that even if they prefer doing something differently, it doesn't mean that everyone is like them or has the same materials, skills, tools, or opportunities they have. If you have the expensive equipment to do it, then why are you watching the video about how to do it cheaply or for free or with less materials? Did you only click on the video to comment that it's useless? There are different ways to critique someone's work. You can be respectful about it or you can be rude about it. And I'm talking about the people who choose to be rude. Sometimes it's difficult to word a comment in a way that it's not too harsh, so it might come off a little harsher to the reader than it was intended. But sometimes it's clear that the commenter is not even trying, they're just being reactive, they want to find any excuse to contradict you and show their own superiority. In those cases, I sometimes ignore the comment altogether if I feel like the commenter misunderstood me on purpose. Sometimes I unfortunately make a passive-aggressive reply, and sometimes a very compassionate one trying to find out why they thought what they did. It's okay to not reply to rude comments, but still take on board the one actually useful criticism that was somewhere in there and maybe use it in future art and videos. But ignore the comment as a whole and not reply it. Think about the little crumb of useful feedback and ignore the rest. This isn't to say I don't reply any critiques, but more so that it depends on the way it was written and what they're commenting on. Is it feedback on the art or the video or about me as a person? The third category is commenters who are looking to hurt you by reactive abuse. They want to rile you up. The best thing is to completely ignore those people. No reaction is what hurts them the most. Unfortunately, YouTube makes it hard. Even if you initially decide to ignore a comment, YouTube keeps showing you those same comments in the YouTube studio till you crack and delete, block, or reply. And there comes a point when you snap. When the rude comments are piling on and you can't prevent yourself from seeing them, and one time you see one of them at a bad moment and snap and clap back. And that has definitely happened to me. And it probably just invites more negativity. While some people might mean their comment in a constructive way, but maybe didn't word it in the best way, and some people might be lashing out because they had a bad day, or maybe the commenters are actually children, you also can't assume that that's always the case, because there are inherently malicious people too. And they, probably due to their own trauma, feel better about themselves when they're hurting someone else. One way they can do this is by getting a sense of control if they manage to provoke you, so they might feed off of getting an angry reply from you. They feel like they're controlling you if they manage to push your buttons. Maybe by making you look stupid or embarrassing you, making you look crazy or like you're overreacting, making you look immature for replying to them, making you look like the bad guy. Or they might get that sense of control just by knowing that they managed to ruin your day, even if you didn't reply anything, but they know or think they know you saw their comment. I feel like this is the reason when you get rude comments, you should either delete, block, completely ignore, or stay neutral if you reply. Letting someone provoke you into a fight in the comment section might just be what their goal was all along. And you're falling right into that trap and giving them the supply or control they were looking from you. You can't change toxic people, they will never change. You can only work on yourself and find ways to cope that work for you. Maybe turning off notifications, maybe looking at comments only once a day and avoiding them at other times, maybe avoiding them when you're feeling down for other reasons to avoid getting further triggered. You don't need to give people access to you all the time. And it kind of sucks for people who are sending sincere comments, maybe asking for help with something, but that's the trade-off. And for those types of people where it's just mean-spirited, and especially if they keep doing it on multiple posts, I block them so they can continue commenting, but no one, including me, is ever going to see what they write. I can see my own codependency issues have made me seek approval from strangers online commenting on my videos, which is stupid. I don't want to let just anyone affect my mood or my productivity, how I feel about myself or my work. Seeking outside validation also means taking criticism too close to heart when you should be validating yourself instead. The first version of this video script was me ruminating in these thoughts after seeing a negative comment one morning last summer, but I figured I might as well turn that rumination into something productive, like a new video. I turned off the comment notifications years ago. I still get a notification of replies on my comments on other people's channels, so I'll see if they replied to me, but I don't get notifications of new comments on my channel, because sometimes I'd get a notification right before going to sleep and it would be of a really negative comment and it would start circling in my head and I couldn't sleep. And eventually I got scared just hearing the notification sound. So just to protect myself from that, I turned off notifications. If I want to feel bad about myself, I just need to go to the YouTube Studio dashboard and click on comments and scroll down. It automatically shows the comments I haven't responded to, which means comments you haven't given a heart or a reply. So whenever I reply to the comments I want to reply or heart, what's left is the comments I don't know how to reply to or the ones I want to ignore, and YouTube will not let you ignore them. It will splash them in your face every time you go to the YouTube Studio. There's a little window of the latest comments you haven't replied right on the front page. For bigger channels that get new comments to bury the bad ones, this is probably less of a problem, but for small channels like mine, this has bugged me for a long time. I wish there was a way to automatically just show the newest comments instead of only comments I haven't replied to. This is something YouTube could fix. Let you modify the filters for the comments showing on the dashboard. Like newest comments, yes, but if I've seen a comment and didn't reply or give it a heart, and it's a comment I've decided not to reply to, I'd like it to go down in the feed. Or maybe having an ignore button, so you could say yes, I've seen this comment and I choose to ignore it and I don't want to see it again, thanks. So it would be enough to read it once and decide not to be reactive instead of having to keep seeing it time and time again. So sometimes deleting the comment is the only option to stop seeing it, or leave enough other unreplied comments to bury the comment you don't want to see. You would like to think it gets easier over time because you get used to it. I posted my art online since 2009, so that's 15 years, and then I started a blog and a YouTube channel. And I've gotten negative comments, and of course very positive ones too, from pretty much the beginning. But they still get to me sometimes depending on what kind of a moment I'm seeing them. So unfortunately, just the time passing or seeing more and more of them isn't going to desensitize you completely. If you do YouTube Shorts or TikTok, the audience is different and they're even more trigger heavy. Not to say all short viewers are like that, but the proportion of people who are trigger heavy seems to be higher. I don't do shorts much myself, but I've seen a lot of art YouTube shorts that have gotten really nasty comments and often for no reason. It can just be a more hostile and rude environment from what I've seen. So you don't actually need anyone's permission to do it, but if you came here looking for someone's permission to delete rude comments or block the account making them, you have my permission to do it. There's also a pause button on YouTube now, so when YouTube starts recommending your video to a wider audience, and maybe partly the wrong audience, and the comments start getting weird, you can pause the comments so that the existing ones still show up, but no one can leave new ones. I tried this out with one video and definitely had a more peaceful week. Either way, go ahead, do what you need to do to save your own mental health. We all need a break sometimes, but how do you come back after a break? In this video, I talk about how I turned my slowly declining YouTube channel around. See you there.